broken party of off-key clowns singing anti-Doge protest songs and leaders like Chuck Schumer who use props like beer and avocados. Outspoken ESPN star Stephen A. Smith is giving his party some tough advice, saying they should be, quote, embarrassed that he's even being considered for the 2028 nomination.
If you're the Democrats, that's why Stephen A. Smith is in the news. Because y'all don't have anybody. You don't have anybody. Who you got? Who you got? Kamala Harris better not run. She better not run. I'm not in the news because I'm here. I'm in the news because the Democratic Party is here. Damn it, lower than that. Down at the bottom. They suck right now. Horrible. Because they don't have a voice. Where the hell is the voice?
It's clear that the party needs new leadership, but gone are the days of Barack Obama. And the best they can muster for DNC chair is this boring white guy named Ken. Take a look.
We need to get the DNC out of D.C., out of the Beltway, reconnecting our message back with voters. That's job number one, right? So many parts of our coalition left us this last election cycle, right? We know that, from Latino voters to working class households to young voters to women. You can go down the list. The only two groups that we overperformed with in the last election cycle were wealthy households and college-educated voters. That's a damning indictment on the Democratic Party. We got to do a better job.
Okay, Jesse, isn't it refreshing? Let's talk about Stephen A. for a minute.
Yeah.
Isn't it refreshing that a man that they're pushing for president, the Democrats, is saying, you are so stupid, you have such a weak bench, you're actually asking me to do it?
Yeah, and Carville just called him an idiot. Carville just said, basically, shut up and dribble. And if you're a Democrat, now is the time to run. It's an open primary. You don't have to run against Trump anymore. You're dealing with Harris, who's the front runner. See what I mean? So if you're a celebrity, if you're wealthy, if you're Harold Ford Jr., this is when you go for it. And I mean go for it. I still think Newsom has the inside track to get the nomination, but he'll still lose. I'm more interested on the Republican side. J.D. Vance did a great job the other day in Europe, and he's probably got the advantage. I think Megyn Kelly could be president. She is very smart. She's a great debater. She's got a good family. She's telegenic. And she's a woman. And why not now? Why not have the first female president a Republican? I think she'd do a great job. Also, Hegseth. I think Hegseth, if he does a nice job at the Pentagon over the next 4 years, Hegseth could make a run. And I think he'd do an excellent job as commander-in-chief. There's a lot of people out there. I don't think the Democrats are going to nominate a woman. They tried it twice. Hasn't worked. They're probably just going to pump the brakes on that. But they just need an athlete. Because right now, you got guys going to these games, and they look like, get me out of here. They just need an athlete who sounds like a normal person.
I think we should just let him keep talking.
Yeah,
I could listen to this for an hour.
I'm like, you're kidding. Anyway, do Democrats, Dana, even know how much trouble they're in, given this new guy, the DNC chair, Ken, is talking about, Democrats are on the side of workers, and they just got to get the message out.
I know. That was so boring. It was like nothing memorable. Stephen A. Smith is memorable.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing. This has got to hurt. Quinnipiac today has congressional Democrat approval at 21%.
Wow.
And that's 20 points lower than congressional Republicans. I'm not saying anyone's in terrific shape, but the congressional Democrats have never, I don't think, at least in my experience, have not been that low. And then you don't see people out there that are hitting the right tone or message to be an insurgent.
Yep.
And if Stephen A. Smith or somebody like that has the energy and pushes forward and then does something surprising, like they have to do something that is unique and different. And to me, if one of them is willing to take on the teachers' unions and say, this is not good enough, our children deserve better, they might have a chance.
So, Harold, how long do the Democrats have to get behind one person? I would think the sooner the better, because you remember Kamala was like, I only had 90 days when she really had 4 years, but that's not the issue.
So that race is in the past. We're now less than 6 weeks into President Trump's first term and last term as president, because he obviously served the first term. Democrats have a ways to go, but Stephen A. Smith is onto something. His criticism is something the Democrats should take into context. What he's saying is, you guys are so discombobulated, so unorganized, so disjointed, so without a message that people are looking to me, who's a serious guy, but he's saying, I'm not the person that should be president. That same poll that Dana pointed out, it's amazing that the numbers that Democrats have in Congress, only 20%, Republicans only 40% approval, and in fact, President Trump's at 45. So everybody's kind of upside down. The country's waiting for a set of answers. And Democrats, I think the conversation we had in the first segment was telling and revealing. I respect Jesse's position on what you would do with the Doge savings and the kinds of things government is doing. We need to have a serious conversation in the country about what the next 5 to 10 years, 20 years look like for our families, for our communities, for our national defense, and how we fund these things, how we cut taxes, how we raise taxes, how we pay down our debt. Democrats, the opportunities are there. But if you keep yelling and screaming and being angry and just opposing things, people aren't going to listen to you. Whatever you want to say about Doge, people want reforms. If you have better reforms, offer those ideas instead of singing and yelling. I was not as down on this Ken Martin guy. He may not be the most exciting fellow, but he's right.
Leader.
Well, he's not my leader, but he's a DNC chair. He should take the DNC out of D.C., but take the DNC out of D.C. to get a message, to listen to voters, and to bring back a platform of ideas that resonate and connect with our future.
Greg, should I get out of D.C.?
I don't know. I look at Ken Martin. That guy is so white. He makes Jesse look like Jay-Z. He looks like every dad, like in a commercial, where the wife shows him how he can save money on car insurance because he's too stupid to do it on his own. Harold's too good looking and too smart for politics. That's reverse psychology. But the thing is, I listen to all these, vocal liberals now, and it's like, where were you for 4 years when you had an incapacitated president? Right. I don't know. I mean, I don't watch Smith. He seems like a nice guy. I don't remember seeing him talk about the fact that we had a brain-dead president or that we had a complete conspiracy to hide that. So I disagree that Democrats suck right now. They sucked before, they suck now. I have a feeling they're going to suck after because they've made it clear that within their group of people, some people are better than others. I mean, the irony of the Democrats is that there's no equality in equity. Some people are worth less based on their immutable characteristics. If you're a white straight guy, you're not as important as a female woman, a woman of color who is gay. I ticked 3 boxes there, right?
Woman, color gay. Yeah, got it.
Yeah, got it.
Rule
So I think the problem is that you can't unify a group of people if they all feel like they're part of a hierarchy in which one matters more than the other. And you saw that in that DNC meeting when they were trying to choose a guy and they ended up with a white guy. Is he straight?
I don't know.
Let's get on that research. I need to find out. But it's like they were arguing over the gender of people. It was embarrassing. Yeah. And this is why they can't find their own Joe Rogan. It's because no one can sit in that chair and after 5 minutes, you're going to be yelling at him about some tripwire he crossed, He goes, my pronoun is they. And